So, my background is very similar to a lot of people. I wasn't never surrounded by any kind of entrepreneurs at all. I just taught to go to school, get good grades, which I did, get a good job. I got a computer science. And when I got out, I was a programmer and wasn't very good at it, but it was well paid. That's kind of, that's why I did that. And then I got into a startup company called Web Methods. And in March of 2000, we went public. And at the point, it was the most successful software IPO in history, and put a bunch of money in my pocket, which was fantastic. And then I coasted along a little bit. I read Rich Dad Poor Dad, and then in 2004, and it just completely uprooted my thinking around my financial career and professional career. So I decided to throw it all out the window and quit my job and pursued financial freedom. And because I had some money, I decided to do it all. I became a student of every possible financial freedom tool I could think of. So I started flipping houses a little bit. I took some classes on trading stocks and options. I took an apartment building class. But my big idea was to get into the restaurant business, Whitney. This was my big idea because I was surrounded by a bunch of burger franchisees, and they were crushing it. And they were like, oh, it takes this much to open it. You hire this guy, they're going to run everything, and you just sit back and count your passive income. I'm like, that's perfect. That's my cash flow business. So I decided to go all in. And I went and I signed, it wasn't a pizza franchise, it was a pizza franchise I signed up for at the time. And I did exactly that. I hired a very experienced guy who would run multiple restaurants. And I actually was in a state of semi-retirement for about 4 or 5 years. And then the recession hit and kind of changed things for me, and it became so bad that I had to basically sell these restaurants. And long story short, I ended up losing my software IPO millions in the restaurant experiment, and clawed my way out of it with real estate. But like so many people thinking real estate investing, they're thinking flipping. So I decided to flip houses, and I didn't have any of my own money anymore. They were all tied up in the restaurants, so I had to raise the money. So I had to get into that. And I also got into an apartment building. And after a while, and the problem is I was making money on the house flipping side, but it was a lot of work. I mean, I created another rat race for me. We were buying 2 houses a month. So it was a pretty big operation. We had deployed about $1 million at one point. And meanwhile, this apartment building just kept sending me mailbox money. It was kind of boring, actually. But after a while, I was like, man, I need to maybe do a little bit more of that and a little bit less of this. And that's kind of when I started shifting into multifamily, and I started blogging about it. People were interested in how to raise money and how I put these deals together. And it kind of just evolved from there. So today we have a fairly large training platform. Like you mentioned, we have online courses, we have free resources, we have coaching, we have a podcast, and we also have this deal desk where we partner with people and they bring us our deals. So it's a very exciting times, and it kind of just started small, like so many things, and kind of went from there.